Teenagers in jail after a family says he shot and killed his grandparents over a family feud. Family members tell us Unita Hardy and Gregory.
He did what? Oh no, these YNs getting out of control.
Merritt were in their early 60s. A family friend was also killed in all of this.
His thoughts, his actions, his words. Those three things prove to you, in this case, beyond a reasonable doubt, that this defendant committed 3 counts of premeditated murder.
His statement to the police is credible because it is literally corroborated by all the other evidence in this case. And that is the same statement in which he confesses to 3 counts of murder.
Oh no.
First on my list to see is Jadarius Jones.
Jones.
How you doing?
Okay, are you Jadarius Jones?
Yes, sir.
All right, I have read the arrest and booking report. I do find there to be probable cause for the 4 charges against you. I am going to appoint the public defender's office to represent you. Mr. Jones, you've been charged with 3 separate counts of second-degree murder. You've also been charged with a separate count of armed robbery. You will be held without bond on all 4 of those charges.
It was January 15th, 2023. At 12:30 in the afternoon, Jacksonville sheriffs responded to a home in reference to a shooting. Arriving on scene, officers discovered 44-year-old Luther Williams laying in the front yard with multiple gunshot wounds. Officers quickly conducted a security sweep of the residence, finding 2 additional victims in a back bedroom, 58-year-old Unita Hardy and 63-year-old Gregory Merritt. They were both unresponsive with multiple gunshot wounds. All 3 victims would die at the scene as detectives arrived to begin the triple homicide investigation. A search warrant was obtained, the crime scene was processed, and multiple 9mm shell casings would be found inside and outside the home by all 3 victims. It was determined all 3 met a violent demise, standing only feet away from their killer. A nearby neighbor, now witness, would tell detectives she observed an 18-year-old named Jadarius Jones arrive at the victim's home in a black Toyota Camry. He'd enter the home wearing a fanny pack satchel, and once inside was confronted by male acquaintances who were already in the home. The confrontation stemmed from an incident they found out Jadarius was involved in, and a physical fight broke out. Jadarius was seen running from the home on foot. Officers would observe a male matching the description of Jadarius at a home not far from the murder scene. He'd be detained by officers, identified as the suspect, and transported for an interview with detectives. A search of the home would reveal a fanny pack style satchel described by the witness. Inside was a wallet belonging to the victim found in the front yard. Speaking with Jadarius, the detective would read him his constitutional rights, and Jadarius would acknowledge he understood all of his rights and signed the form. Post Miranda, Jadarius would confess to shooting and killing all 3 victims. But these weren't just random people. Unita and Gregory were his own grandparents. The 18-year-old would be charged with 3 counts of second-degree murder, armed robbery with a firearm, and theft of a motor vehicle for stealing the victim's Toyota after the murder. The vehicle would be found in front of the home he was found at. Jadarius would sit inside of the Duval County Jail for over 2 years before finding himself guilty as fuck at trial. Now 20 years old, Jadarius would receive a jaw-dropping 999 years for the triple murder that ended his grandparents' life. In all reality, he'd be sentenced to life for each murder, with the sentences running concurrent. But on the court site it would say 999 years, 99 months, and 99 days. For those that have never been to prison, within the dorms are call-out sheets that would list inmate names, Department of Corrections numbers, as well as their release dates. And for the inmates with a life sentence, the year of release would just say 999 Now these numbers almost seem make-believe, but for 20-year-old Jadarius, they are very real.
Oh,
If he's
Lord.
lucky enough to live the next 60 years, he'll have spent it within the 4 regions of the Florida Department of Corrections. It doesn't matter which part of the state he wakes up in. That Florida sun will shine every morning off the barbed wire fences. And the day he doesn't wake up, he'll be collected from his cell, body bagged, sent home if he has any living relatives, or he'll be buried at the prison. But that Florida sun will keep on shining. And this is the reality of life in Florida State Prison. Another statistic and another example for those watching of what your life could be
Stay out the
if
streets.
you make the wrong decisions. Now, there was a lot of information missing from this case that I wasn't able to find in the courts. Apparently, Jadarius was rumored of having committed a shooting. That, I guess, is the reason he was confronted inside of his grandparents' home. Now, I don't know if this was an attempt of like hood justice. Like, we heard he did something, so we're gonna come over here and beat him up to teach him a lesson, and his grandparents allowed it. And then Jadarius snapped and ended up killing his grandparents and another man. We don't know the details. All we know is an 18-year-old turned that gun on his grandparents and a third man that was killed in the front yard. Then he admitted it to the police. Done deal. This happened in Jacksonville. Jacksonville has been the murder capital of Florida for a long ass fucking time. A lot of drill rappers, you know, the Florida drill scene, that started in Jacksonville. The courts aren't gonna play that shit. When I was in the Florida prison system, most of the jits that I met that came from Jacksonville had 10 years or better. And they were all in there for some type of a gun crime, whether it was shootings, whatever the fuck, murders, attempted murders. That's just how they're rocking over there. But for Jadarius, I don't see him being granted an appeal for a triple murder like this. And based on where the shell casings landed, they were able to prove, you know, through analyzing the crime scene, that he was firing from close range. He was right in front of them when he gunned them down. He knew exactly what he was doing. He didn't play crazy. He didn't go the insane route. He admitted to it for whatever reason. Signed off on his life, basically just ate a
That's
fucking
crazy.
life sentence. Now he's gone. He's in prison. And living that day by day from 20 years old to whenever he's no longer breathing, that's no life to live. If you've been in there, you know that. And it's sad because I've gone on the Florida Department of Corrections website and just looked up some of the people that I knew, especially some of the ones that I met that had life sentences. A couple of them have committed suicide because they weren't able to just keep doing it. Every day, it's repetition. It's the same thing. Nothing changes. A lot of people don't realize out here you have so much freedom to the point that you don't see what you have until it's gone. When you're in there, all you can do is wear blue. The same blue as everybody else has. His might be a little bit nicer than yours, you know, a little bit newer because he paid money for it, but all you wear is blue. All the COs wear is brown. Those are the only colors you're seeing year after year after year. You know what I mean? You're used to the fucking heat because if you're not in one of the newer dorms, you're in the old school Florida prison dorms where there's just holes in the windows and there's no AC. It's hot as fuck. The rain gets into the dorm. Living that day by day for the next 40, 50, 60 fucking years is no life to live. And I wish that the Florida Department of Corrections would let people like myself in with a camera to show y'all the realities, to keep y'all from making the decisions that leave you in there with no escape. A lot of people say, oh, how did you get through prison? How did you do so much confinement time? I didn't have a choice. I had to. Now he doesn't have a choice until he dies.
I ain't gonna lie, that's crazy, y'all. Hey, people need to make better decisions in life. Like, y'all don't know, going to prison, like, that stops your whole life. Like, you no longer living. Like you just in a cage like a dog, eating whatever they want to feed you, wearing whatever they want you to wear, taking showers whenever they want you to. Like, that's just crazy. That's no way to live, y'all, man. I hope everybody just change their life, get out the streets, do something productive with their life. You know, it's way more better things in life, I know, than crashing out. But let me know what y'all think about that. Was he insane for that? Like, did he crash out, killing his grandparents? Let me know in the comments, y'all. But make sure y'all like the video, subscribe to the channel. I love y'all for tuning in. It's your boy B.O.E. Dance. I'm out. Peace.